when one of India's revered personalities passes an opinion on something, the world takes it seriously. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was a very controversial person in the sight of the upper caste Hindus, against whom he waged a relentless struggle so that the deprived lower castes of India could get a fair deal. While the lower castes and other fair-minded people adored him for his principled stand, he was demonized by the majority of the upper caste leadership in pre-independence and post-independence India. But having incorporated in the body of the Indian constitution inalienable rights for the lower castes, his detractors lost their teeth, their bite just got blunted, but their old habit at barking did not cease. However, when it comes to demeaning the sacrifices of the Mappila martyrs, the very same upper caste establishment freely quotes Ambedkar in justification of their claim that the Mappila martyrs were not freedom fighters, but brazenly anti-Hindu. They will never tell you that Ambedkar was an active proponent of the idea of Pakistan in his eponymous book, Pakistan or the Partition of India. Neither will they tell you that Dr. Ambedkar was not an eyewitness to the events that transpired during 1921 in Malabar. Nor will they mention that he never personally undertook a visit to the region to gather facts. His allegation of the Mappila riots as being essentially against the Hindu community of the region was based purely on the reports that reached him. It is no secret that the sources which he referred were mainly writings of the British reporters and high caste Hindus who were in the service of the British. Ironically, the Mappilas did not write their own history during that period, since in the aftermath of the bloody crackdown by British forces, aided by the local Hindu landlords and Gorkha sepoys, they were shattered and were busy trying to rebuild their ravaged villages and livelihoods. Hence, most information emanating on the riots was a product of the aforesaid class of people. You may wonder how Dr. Ambedkar could have believed in these reports blindly. But if you read the editor's introduction to the online version of Pakistan or the Partition of India, you will observe that this was not the only time Dr. Ambedkar showed haste in arriving at conclusions. Fran Pritchett, Columbia University, writes in the editor's introduction to the book, needless to say, Dr. Ambedkar's opinions about many matters discussed in the text were then and are now controversial. In addition, some of the historical accounts on which he relied for factual information have now been rendered obsolete by later and better grounded research. For example, Chapter 4 would surely have been quite different if Dr. Ambedkar had access to more complex studies like that of Romila Thapar on Mahmud Ghaznavi or Richard Eaton on temple destruction. Our humble conclusion is that Dr. Ambedkar's opinion of the Mappilas surely would have been different if he had access to more objective studies like that of K.N. Panikar, M.B. Nambudripad, and later day historians of Malabar. I have personally interviewed half a dozen historians and scholars of the region. Additionally, I have delved into primary sources like the debates of the Central Legislative Assembly of that period and reports published in a variety of newspapers during 1921-22 concerning the events preceding and during the bloody uprising. Another piece of incontrovertible evidence is the letter to the Hindu newspaper written by V.K. Haji himself, in which he denies the accusations of conversions and atrocities against Hindus. Despite this, Varyam Kunnat Haji is accused of being anti-Hindu. I have put these evidences together in a series of short documentaries titled Was the Mappila Uprising of 1921 Anti-Hindu? Dr. Ambedkar was human after all.